Welcome to Conscious Creation with actress, author, and healer, Dee Wallace. If you want to take charge of your life, really take charge of your life, the next hour will be a fun, enlightening experience in creating the life you want. Whether it's money, health, success, or relationships, join Dee in celebrating the power of you and see your life expand into joyful creation. To join Dee live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, call 206-402-0100 and enter PIN number 161329#. And don't forget, Dee can also be heard on BBS Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and live at Oneness Talk Radio. You can also hear Dee on Transformation Talk Radio and on her YouTube channel, Dee Wallace Official. And now, here's Dee.
Hello, all my beautiful people I love. I love you, I love you, I love you. It's a gorgeous day out here in LA, and I'm coming to you from my home studio in my little, well, we call it the chateau. I love that. In my little ADU office, yeah. And I want to remind you of one of the oldest principles in the work. And it came up doing some work for an old friend that I have. And she's one of the most talented people I know. Writer, producer, artist, actor, director. She can just do everything. And yet, other talented people often can't see it. Her work doesn't land in a lot of places. And she said something the other day, and I went, okay, stop. I've just got to get to what this is. Why people don't get you or your work. It's your work. And I was directed to a core belief. And basically, what it came down to was she had the belief that other people didn't get her. Other people didn't get her work. Other people didn't understand her work, didn't understand who she was. And that is part of one of the core principles that the channel taught us in the beginning. How I see me, how I see the world, how I see the world seeing me. Those three things have to come together for the success of your creation. You can see yourself as a talented, successful creator. But if you see a world that sees you as someone who does not succeed, who is not successful, who cannot create, you see the conundrum there. Well, but I am creative. I am successful in creating the things I want. But the world won't give me a shot. The world won't see me successful. Then you cannot complete that success in the world, can you? People don't see me successful. The world doesn't see me successful. So you cannot complete that picture of your success in the world. And it was interesting to watch her at first, she really couldn't kind of even comprehend what that meant. What does that mean? I have a belief that the world doesn't see me that way. Why would that affect my creative success? And then slowly she started putting it together until the light bulb popped on. So I want you to look at what your belief systems are around how you think the world sees you. What is your belief system around that? I see me as a success in this world. I see the world as seeing me as a success in this world. And I see a world where I can be a success in this world. Invoking the symbol formula, violet flame, golden light, we are divine love. Now, before we go into the calls, we're going to all direct ourselves to be balanced. So everybody, join in with me and follow me. We are commanding with love. Everybody with me? Our hearts are open front and back and merge with our whole brain. Our chakras are open, balanced, happy, and spinning in the right direction. Our hara lines are straight, strong, and through the ID point, so we stay in our knowing. We are connected to the highest information, the highest knowledge, and the highest understanding. We are the light of our balanced brain. We are the balance of and between the masculine and feminine energies in the creation of ourselves and our lives. And so it is. We invoke the symbol formula, violet flame, golden light. We are divine love. And so it is. I want to remind everyone that this following week is our next webinar on how to channel. It's on camera, so I will be able to demonstrate. I have spent a couple of hours, have written out all the notes they've given me. It's going to be a real good one, promise. All right, we are going to the callers, and we are going to start with Penny in the UK. You are on.
Hi, Dee. Thank you for the call. I'll jump right in and without taking too much of a story. There's a couple of saboteurs. Well, I don't know whether it's a saboteur or whether it's the mind unable to direct itself correctly with the body. So two things are happening. One is there's a voice that comes in that will praise the body and say, oh, look how well you're doing. You haven't been sick for ages. And then bang, the next day it will be sick for a while. For an example.
Well, sure, because you use the word sick and the brain thinks in pictures, sweetheart.
Okay, so it does that a lot with all sorts of things, but that was just an example. So it does that a lot. And then the second thing it does is it will go into the body and it will say, so for example, I direct myself to embrace love for the day. I direct myself to, and use a doggy as an example to bring in the love. And then it will be going about the day and I'll be looking at the doggies and going, oh, look, the doggies are coming to me and saying, oh, hello, I love you. And in the moment that this part of Penny comes in and recognises, oh, that must be that exercise I did in the morning, bang, it's gone. So there's some misalignment, misdirection going on within the body that, and the mind, I think.
It's not a misdirection, sweetheart. But what you're doing is you're literally taking yourself out of the experience when you do that.
Yes, so how do I redirect it not to do that?
You stay in the experience.
But it's out of my, it just won't. I can go back, try and go back in the experience, but it's done. It's almost like it's upside down. It's
Okay, Penny. Let me try and walk you through the example.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the morning, you are directing yourself to be in the experience of love with your doggies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your doggies come up to you and you experience love, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens?
Well, it's unconscious in the fact that I didn't recognize it to start with, and then as soon as I recognize, oh, that's love coming in, doof, it redirects
because
itself.
You see, you don't have to recognize it. You just have to be in the experience of it. So you're in the experience of it, and then you go, oh, I better recognize this and be aware that I'm feeling love here and that I created this and this is what I wanted, and then that takes you out of the experience of it because that puts you in your head. And love and the experience of love, honey, happens in your heart. Yes.
So when it's happening in the heart and I redirect back to that, is it possible that because the inner child or the childlike self doesn't understand what that is, so therefore, because it hasn't experienced it as a child...
Maybe you're just getting into your head too much.
Right. So to come out of the head, just
your
redirect...
heart and you're going into your head. All you have to do in that moment is fall back into your heart and love your doggies. That's all it's about, Penny.
Okay, and the other voice that has this self-fulfilling upside-down prophecy, do I just ignore it and just say, okay, now I'm whatever, and just
what does the voice
anyway?
say? What does the voice say?
Well, it can say many things, but it can say things like, oh, look, this hasn't happened for a while, and then suddenly it will happen. It will be, the voice is very praising, and in that moment, and it just comes from nowhere. I can be fine for months, and then suddenly this voice just appears, and I still don't think about it, and then it happens, and then I'll remember, oh, yes, it was that voice that said that.
Is it a negative voice or
a
positive voice?
It's a very positive voice, which is really strange.
Okay, so why are you worried about hearing something positive?
Well, that's a very good question because other things are positive, but it seems to be this particular voice that just slips in from nowhere, and then it will say something, and then suddenly it flips, and then the exact thing that I'm not wanting to happen happens. Oh,
give me an example.
The example I gave you earlier was about being sick. So, oh, look, you've been really well for ages. Aren't you doing well? And then, bang, the next day I've got bad stomachache because I have a condition. And it's like, oh, and then I've got to climb my way out of that. Or, oh, look, haven't you done well? You've been not noticing that for a while, and then suddenly I'll start noticing things that are seemingly were negative. But then I became positive, and then in that moment it just reappears again from nowhere. It's like a
Okay. So whenever you praise yourself for...
Well, I mean, I can praise myself for other things, but there's a particular voice that seems to just appear. It kind of just slips in there from seemingly nowhere.
Okay, well, it's your voice, honey. It's not a
yes,
voice.
It's my voice, absolutely.
You know.
But it's a part of Penny, would you say?
Well, of course it's a part of you. It's not like some voice coming in to take you over. Okay, so basically what you're saying is you're praising yourself for something positive that's happening to you, and then something negative happens. That's what you're saying.
Yes, the exact thing I'm praising myself for flips. Okay.
So there's a belief there that when you praise yourself for something positive that you've accomplished, you have to pay for it with a negative. That's your belief. Highest, most correct, most complete. And that started around 3 years old with your mom. And more, not from her teaching you verbally, but from her modeling that for you. Can you put together that she modeled that for you?
Yes.
Okay. So you chose her to learn that that is not going to serve you. That is a belief that you do not want anymore. When I praise myself for something positive that I have created for myself, I choose the new belief that even more positive things are created for me. That's the belief I want you to start creating your world with every day. I choose to believe now that when I praise myself for creating positive things, I continue to create even more positive things in my life and in my body.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And match it up with love.
I will. Thank you so very much, dear. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm sure that served a lot of people. Okay,
much
thanks.
love.
Took us a little bit to get there, but we did it. Okay. All right, we're moving on to Lisa in Minnesota. You're on.
Oh, good morning, Dee. Thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
So I have recently started experiencing really painful sensitivity in my teeth on the right side. And I did the work. I was taken to the body book, and what I found kind of made sense. It was long-standing. It was related to taking on a lot of responsibilities and biting off more than you can chew, and you know, leading to this feeling of immobilization. And that's kind of where I am. And I've been doing, you know, then I was taken to work on the sheets to help me redirect that. But this seems persistent. So I wanted to ask the channel, you know, like first,
well,
am I on the right track?
First of all, congratulations, because I get a yes on everything you said. So good on you that you did all that work on your own and got the right answers. And now we're going to a core belief. This page.
Okay.
Here.
I felt like there was something more.
5. 6. I'm not supposed to be here and I don't belong.
Mm.
So what do you think here stands for?
Well, lining up with everything else I found is the role of shouldering the responsibilities for, most people in my life, kids, family, elderly parents, planning a
and
big
you're
trip.
gritting your teeth through it all.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they're showing me a picture of like an old, in Roman times, an old soldier or worker struggling to drag an old sled or a big heavy piece of machinery with 2 ropes behind him. And what do we do when we drag something really heavy behind us? We grit our teeth.
Yep.
Okay, and who's at choice?
Yeah.
Who is at choice about how much we drag with us?
I know, it's me. I've been, directing that I choose who I want to support and what I want to do. And when I take on that endeavor, I do so easily and successfully and so forth. It just, I just haven't felt that relief yet, or I haven't felt that switch in me. So is there something else I need to be directing or commanding to more specifically say, it's my choice. It's not a obligation, it's a choice. And
well, you don't ever want to put the negative in there. So you don't want to say it's not anything.
Right.
Okay. Right. I am always at choice about what I joyfully choose to take on.
Yeah, joyfully choose. Since you're a movie person, you'll laugh at this, but the phrase that came into my mind was from Pretty Woman. I say who, I say when, I say how much.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Okay.
Put that up for yourself.
Yeah. Different context, but absolutely.
I mean, it kind of applies to everything, And there really isn't anything else for you, but you have to do it, baby.
Yeah, I know.
And, there's a lot of guilt assumed when you don't bust your butt for somebody.
Yep.
Is this the example your mom showed you growing up?
Perhaps, yeah. There was always like an unwritten, understood obligation to take care of things, especially with her parents and my dad's parents. So that could very well be
obligation. Yeah. There's your word.
Yeah.
No choice. Obligation. Yeah.
I'm always
talk to your little girl and replace that word.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks so much, and I appreciate the confirmation. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dee.
You're talking to somebody that worked through a lot of that herself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I lived with back issues, guys, back and neck issues most of my life until I worked through all this. At my age, I should have a lot of back and neck issues, but I've worked through all of this, and now I have none of it. So it works. It does work. when you get to the other side, Lisa. Okay?
Got it. Good.
Okay. Love you. All right. We are going to Victoria in Colorado. You're on.
Good morning.
Morning.
How about those horse pictures?
What?
How about those horse pictures?
Oh, beautiful. Loved them. Thank you for thinking of me and sending those. Yeah.
Well, it really did shift my energy, and you just mentioned the back and neck issues, and that gave me my question. I have had long-term back and neck, and I attribute it to the car accidents and the head injuries and I seem attached to that correlation. And I would love to get to the place where I don't have back and neck pain. So,
well, yeah, but let's just go back to the car accidents.
Yes.
Usually, that's not getting where you want to go easily.
Ah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, so if you're putting things in your way of getting where you want to go easily, you're going to have back and neck injuries.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. You're also going to experience weight challenges.
Yep.
Okay, because weight is a protection. So the highest question we can ask right now, Victoria, is what do you feel like you need to protect yourself from? That's the highest question. We're going to the sheets. This page here, 16, 17, 18. The first part. When I value myself, I have to abandon myself. So let's talk about that for a minute. That means when I value who I am, I have to give myself up in some way.
Yeah, I have to hide. Can't show.
What?
I have to hide it. I can't really show who I really am. Or
yeah,
unsafe.
I get a yes on that. And a lot of us are taught that growing up. I'm worth more if I'm smaller.
Yep.
I'm worth more if I hide myself. I'm worth more if I don't say what I really want. This started around 5 years old with your dad. Does that make sense? Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say 5 with my dad. I was just going to repeat. I don't have anything jumping to mind, but you had a while. What was that?
Well, they're showing me you literally like hiding behind a chair and peeking out when he came in the door.
Oh.
Were you afraid of him in any way?
I mean, I don't think so. And I do often have some memory, which I don't even know if it's this life, but maybe, of like being really little and crouching and hiding under a table or a low table.
Well, when I say your little girl was in fear of your dad, it goes to my big yes.
Okay.
Which is, so let's just take that a step further and label it masculine energy.
Okay.
So when I say that you're in fear of your own masculine energy and anything that represents masculine energy in the world, I get a big yes.
Yeah, the expression coming to mind is sit down and shut up, and my teeth are feeling like they're grinding. My jaw is like,
yeah.
So.
And as we know, sweetheart, we have to have a balance of masculine and feminine energy to create anything.
Aha.
So if you are in fear of your own masculine energy and masculine energy in the world, your body will be out of balance.
Yep.
And that is what I'm getting is the source of your aches and pains.
Okay.
Energetically. So I would, and you notice that when we balanced energy in the beginning, one of the directions was I am the balance of masculine and feminine energy in the creation of me and my life. I would strongly suggest that you start your day with that powerful direction.
Aha. Okay. Because if I were to say up until now, and now it's shifting because it is now different because we've just talked. But if I were to say up until now, I feel the energy of, or have felt, I'm very creative, but I'm not creative, but I'm not creating. And I feel like I've gone through my life with the foot on the brake and the gas at the same time. Is this a mismatch of my not accepting the masculine energy or not balanced?
Well, hell yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if your foot's on the brake and the gas at the same time, you're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if your body is stuck and you're trying to move forward and you're stuck, your muscles are going to lock up, honey.
Yep.
Ask any dancer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the song that came to mind was I Want to Dance with Somebody when you were going through the pages. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I'd go find a dance class or a movement class. It'd be great for your body.
I'll take it.
Even if you go walk the horses.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to walk them just yet, but I can be around them. I can be around them, and that is a dance of energy. If not any, even if not, hey.
Or walk your doggy.
Yeah, something's got him all entertained right now. I don't know.
Well, animals pick up energy like nothing. So he's all tuned in. He's saying, "Yeah, Mom. Yeah, Mom." He's going, "Yeah. There's something to this."
So
I watch Freedom. I listen to her. I watch her cues. They know. Okay? All right, we got to move on, baby.
Yes, thank you.
You
bet.
Thank you. Okay. We are going to Miss Kate in Colorado. You're on.
Hey, long time.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
I have two things, if possible. First one, speaking of dogs, is a dog I was taking care of. It was pretty sad. I think chose to be with me when he had a stroke. And there was blood. He's bleeding from his nose. Sorry. And obviously I'm raw about it still, but anything about his passing, his owners were able to see him a couple hours before he passed, but it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with.
It was a lot to
deal
with. and you served in a very, very high way. He
Thank you.
chose you.
Yeah.
You were the highest choice,
Oh.
absolutely, energetically,
Wow.
for him. So it's just a big thank you for serving, because you were the highest peaceful choice for him to be with for his passing.
Mm.
You okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
I was talking to him like that. He was calm with me, and I felt that, and it's great to hear it.
Yeah.
And anything about the owners, I don't understand. I mean, I understand they're grieving, but there's been not one word. It's kind of unsettled with the owners.
Well, what do you want to be settled with them?
They've never contacted me one time. I don't know anything.
Well, that's why he chose you to pass with.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of who they are.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Enough said, right?
Enough said. Wow. I get it completely.
Yeah. Okay. Second question.
Since the beginning of June, really was like June 1st, there's been a lot of testing of boundaries. And of course, the whole show is about this, speaking up, using my voice. And I believe I have spoken up a lot more and been more clear in my communication.
That's a true statement.
And anything else about, so when these things happen, I say, thank you for the lesson, and I'm done with that. I don't need it again. Is that a true statement?
That is a true statement. But that's really not the question you want to ask. What do you really want to know?
Moving on from that situation at all. I don't want to be tested. I mean, that's part of me saying that. If it's necessary for growth, or is it putting myself back in the same situation multiple times?
Well, it's a true statement that you want to learn and grow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't want to be tested. So what's the difference between learning and growing and being tested to you?
It would be knowing, not putting myself, knowing that I know what will happen, that this could happen, and not putting myself in that situation to start with. Making different choices before having to be put in these situations where my boundaries are tested.
Okay, so what you just said to me was, I believe that I have to
go through it.
I believe I have to create situations where my boundaries are interrupted and overstepped.
Yes.
In order to learn and grow. That's the belief. Highest, most correct, most complete. Yeah. So where do you think you got that belief from?
Personal power, that I don't have the personal power to choose in the beginning of the pathway that I want. That would, my mom comes up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, really early in life, like around 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you know it's a belief.
Yeah.
You know where it came from. And you know you're the God of you that can change it. So tell me what the belief was again. What did we just get to?
The belief is I do not have the first belief is I have to go through getting my boundaries tested in order to grow and learn.
Okay, now put it in the positive.
The power is mine to make the choices from the very beginning. And
so
without
I have the power.
I have the power
to create all of my personal choices.
I have the power to create all of my personal choices from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. That give me joy.
That give me joy. And growth through happiness, growth through everything I want.
There you go, you see. That's what you want. That's what you powerfully direct every day. And teach your little girl that new belief, that new direction and command. Got it?
And safety, and I'm safe in doing that because coming up. Because the 3-year-old was not safe. So
okay, good. Yeah. And I am safe and secure in this life to create my life with this power.
Woo! Beautiful.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you?
Yeah.
Mhm. Now, be vigilant that you direct your day. Go to your love place first and direct it with love. Okay?
Okay.
All right, baby.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
All right.
Yeah, good. Oh, boy. Having a good show today. All right, we are going to Brian. You're on.
Good morning.
Good morning, baby.
Mama. First of all, I want to say I had noticed that iTunes had not been updating the podcast for a while. I don't know if anyone else had been experiencing that, but I did resubscribe and got the past several episodes back, which I had been, spending the past few days listening back to. All
right, wait a minute. The podcasts have not been updated?
They were not as of sometime in March, and then after waiting to see if they would go in, I had to resubscribe via iTunes or Apple Podcasts actually, and then all
right, I'll get on that. Thank you for letting me know, Brian.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But I got all the episodes back now. So, but I specifically wanted to follow back because after our last conversation 2 weeks ago, I was still strucken by this ongoing core belief that keeps popping up that I don't know that I'm God. And then listening to last week's episode, at the very beginning, you touched on something that we hadn't continued, the idea that we are in partnership with God. Because the question that I kept having was, well, what part of me doesn't know? Because, logically it makes all the sense in the world based upon what I've been able to demonstrate, that I am God. But now you've brought in this new information, so now I'd like to see what we could do to bring this all together for better clarity.
Okay, they're taking me to what we started with today. Okay. So you see yourself as God.
Mm-hmm.
You see a world where you can be God. Mm-hmm. But when I say you see a world that sees you as God, it goes right to no.
Okay, then.
So that's where I'd start.
Well, that's easy.
Is getting up every day and saying, today, I choose to see a world who sees me as the God of me. Yeah.
Because I do live with a underlying fear of judgment. So
Yeah, there you go, right there.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Because how can you take your power out into the world if you're in fear of being judged all the time, baby?
Yeah. Which I know is absolutely ridiculous because I know how the world sees me. So, yeah.
Well, it's not ridiculous to your little boy, baby.
Yeah, okay. And that makes perfect sense as well.
Yeah. Highest, most correct, most complete. That's your biggest answer that's going to open stuff. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Work on that
you.
this week, and then please call in next week and let's see how that's gone and what else comes up, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
All right. Love you. All righty. We're going to have to go kind of fast, but let's see. Maggie in Florida, you're on.
Hello, Dee.
Hi, baby.
I just wanted to call in and say that I've been directing my energy, that I am health and wellness, I am balance, I am stability, I am flexibility, and I've really noticed a big change in a positive way. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm continuing to do the work, and it's just really working.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for calling in with that.
You're very welcome.
With that affirmation. I really appreciate that. And what a great note to end the show on, Maggie. Thank you, sweetheart. Have a great day. All right, guys. Let's come together and say it loud and proud. Go to your love place. I love me. I love me. And I love me even more, 'cause I know that's what it's all about.
Thank you for joining Dee on Conscious Creation. Visit her website at imdwallace.com for awesome downloads, archived shows, enlightening webinars, and amazing free offerings. And remember, you can hear Dee every week on BBS Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and live at Oneness Talk Radio. You can also hear Dee on Transformation Talk Radio and on her YouTube channel, Dee Wallace Official. Be sure to join us next week for Conscious Creation with Dee Wallace. And remember, loving yourself is the key to creation.